So I'm here at Llandegla in North Wales, which is an amazing place to go mountain biking. There are green runs for the family, there are blue ones, red runs, and I've just done my first black run here, which was incredibly challenging. I thought it was going to be difficult, but that was harder than expected. Made it down the first bit. Hopefully it gets a bit easier, but certainly you want to have speed to get through all the jumps. But even if you're not going terribly fast, which I wasn't, it's still pretty good to try out. And yeah, give it a go. It's something you want to have a big experience to really have a go at. But certainly once you have your skills on the red and you feel confident, it's well worth a try. Mountain biking is something I really love doing. I've cycled all my life, always feel better on two wheels more than two legs, and so coming here is a fantastic way to get to know how to mountain bike a bit better. I'm quite confident on the red runs here, but this is my first time on a black run, which was quite challenging. I think you need to have quite a lot of confidence to be going at speed to get through the black run confidently, and actually it is the sort of thing that if you go slower it's actually harder. But of course if you go fast you have to deal with the fact that your jumps are going to land and you're going to have to deal with that landing, which is, if you haven't had much experience, quite a difficult thing. So glad I made it down. Let's see what else is in store for me. I'm about halfway around. I think this takes about an hour and a half to get through, and I'm probably about 45 minutes into it, so we'll see what happens next. So I just completed another couple of sections of the black run, and they certainly weren't as bad as the first main bit. So if you come to Llandegla and do the black run, it divides red-black very early on after the climb, and then you've got quite simple sort of red-black really, and then it eventually divides into a black run, which is quite difficult, but then the second bit of that is even harder. And I think so far nothing's compared to that particular bit. It's hard to describe. I'll show you the video. The really hard bit it didn't record for, didn't walk it around, but it didn't record for. But I'll show you some of the other bits as we go through. There's one lip that's quite challenging to look at, but it's not as bad as it looks, and you can get over it with a reasonable amount of speed, nothing too fast at all. There are a few other rocks on the downhill that are quite challenging and you could do with a bit more speed on, but since then nothing's been too bad, and you can certainly get over it with whatever level of confidence you have, providing you're confident with the red. And I think if you are, then this will be fine so far. So I've just been up to a section that's part of the black run, and I was going to decide not to do it because it said extreme and severe in the same sentence, but I was really curious about it, and I think, well, if you never actually have a look at these things, you never really know what they're like. So I decided to bite the bullet. The problem is you have to kind of commit to it, so if you do it, you're over the edge and you're doing it. You can't half do it. So I decided I would give it a go, because ultimately if you don't, then you never will. So the good news is I didn't die, but the other good news is actually if you are here and you're comfortable with red, this little black section up here is perfectly doable at your pace. You don't need to be flying down it. Of course, if you are an expert, you can get quite a bit of air in each of the jumps, but if you're not, you can just roll over it at your speed. Obviously you want to manage your speed so you don't go over it too quickly, but most of it, in fact all of it, is really comfortable, and you don't need to be an expert to do it. You don't need an expert bike either. So I think if you've got a reasonable suspension, front suspension, that's fine. I've got a quite simple specialized bike, nothing too sophisticated, so give it a go, have a look at it. There's no big drop off that you're going to approach and think, oh my god, what's going to happen here? So definitely worth a look. So I've just completed the black run, and it was a lot harder in terms of stamina and strength than I expected. A lot of those downhill hills they're doable, but they take it out of your legs. It's like running downhill. Your thighs will be aching by the end of it, and it was a bit muddy too, so on the way up it was quite slippery and you really had to dig in. I wouldn't say I almost threw up, but yeah, it was tough. Lots of people were walking up those hills.